Hi guys, welcome back. This is Dr. Knight speaking about water fasting. You're back, so you must want to know more. This is my day 4 of medical supervised water fasting. And I don't know if I told you guys, the reason I'm here at this clinic is because I'll be working here as a physician in starting November 1st. And I wanted to have an idea of what it took for those folks to come here. A lot of people are dealing with some really serious medical things, and I wanted to know what they had to endure. So here I am. And it doesn't hurt if I use a few pounds or two, because I got some to lose, and give myself a way to reset my what I call my hypothalamic set point. You know, that point where you just can't seem to get past. You work out, you lose some weight, and then you go right back to that point, and you're just stuck there. My point has been 150 for about the last 6 or 7 years. So recently, I have changed my diet. I started eating more vegetarian, but more importantly, I started eating more organic. And I find that to be a huge difference. You can skimp, you can try to skimp on the money you spend on organic meats, but I think it's detrimental to your health, and in the end, you'll pay for it. So I've been watching a lot of movies recently about Food Inc. and The Pleasure Trap, which really talks about, they're really vegan-oriented videos, but they really talk about the things that those animals, the tortured animals, go through. And I am not a vegan. I will eat some meat. Hopefully I'll eat some soon. But just what you're eating, if you're eating animals that are tortured their whole lives and, shot up with antibiotics and have diseases and all these things, and your body's bound to not process that well. There are several studies that recently said that that grass-fed meat causes a decrease in inflammation or a less inflammatory response as opposed to corn-fed meats. And that's just between grass and corn-fed. We're not talking about, the tortured animals and all of these other things, because if you're eating meat that has spent its life being miserable, you're not getting a lot of nutrition. You're getting some bad things in there. Anyway, that's my spiel on that. But I did want to talk about the water fasting. So, like I said, I am on day 4. I spent all night dreaming about food, and it's quite interesting. But I do feel like I've been detoxifying a bit. Things are coming out of my skin. My skin is clearing up. And I didn't even think I had a skin problem. But when you start seeing, little white heads just popping out of your skin, it just looks like little fat coming out of my skin. No, that sounds totally gross, but I'm detoxifying. So just want to let you know some things to be aware of when you're fasting. Monitor your heart rate and your blood pressure. You don't want to go into an orthostatic hypotensive state. New word? Maybe. Meaning, that word means that your blood pressure is dropping, and this can happen a lot with fasts, and your body tries to compensate by increasing your blood pressure. And this can cause a reaction. It can cause fainting. It can cause some other severe things. So just monitor your heart rate daily. One of the things that I am blessed with is having a doctor come into my room every day. He monitors my heart rate, my blood pressure, my temperature, and my urine for ketones. You can monitor your urine on your own and your blood pressure and all of that. Go to the store, grab some ketone strips. Take a urine sample in the morning. Make sure you're still in ketosis. Make sure you're not too high in ketosis, because that can negatively affect your brain. Diabetics that go into high ketosis state often have to be hospitalized. So especially if you're dealing with a condition like that, don't do a water fast without medical supervision, even if you're talking to a doctor on a daily basis. And feel free to hit me up. I can't give medical advice without having you as a patient, but I can certainly refer you or have you talk to someone, and we can work something out. But don't do it on your own. It can cause some really adverse reactions, and it can cause death. So be careful. So the other things, the heart rate and the blood pressure, easy enough to monitor. Get a blood pressure cuff, and things to look for. Really high top numbers. 2 something over 1 something, or a big gap in the numbers. So if you have more, I think it's more than a 60 or 70 number value between the 2 numbers, you want to make sure you contact a physician, and don't just drop out of the fast, because that can be detrimental as well. So how do you get into a fast? Slowly. Stop meat a week ahead of time. Go down to fruits and veggies for a few days. Go down to just juicing for a few days, and then to water. Don't just jump into it. It's a huge thing to do to your body, and make sure you're doing it properly, because you can gain a ton of weight after. You can cause a bunch of digestive problems. You can cause constipation. You can just cause your system to run inappropriately. So do it slowly. And how do you get out? Just the way you got in. Juice for a few days, broths for a few days, veggies for a few days, meats and dairy. Another piece of advice I can offer, when you're adding back things like meat and dairy, or even some of the vegetables, give yourself a day to see how your body processes that. Because a lot of us have food allergens that we aren't aware of, and when you're doing a fast, like I said in the last video, it's an optimal way to find out what your body does not process well. So, you know, the trigger foods like dairy, nightshade family, and vegetables and certain meats, do them slowly and eat a simple diet when you eat those. So you might eat the dairy in the morning, give yourself 24 hours before you add anything else strange. So if you're already doing fruits and vegetables, add a little dairy. Or if you're doing fruits and vegetables and a little bit of meat, and you already know that you're okay with meat, then add a little dairy, and then watch how you do for the rest of the day. And, you know, eat the normal food, but be prepared to discontinue that food if it's causing you adverse reaction, because we want to be healthy and happy and energetic during the day. We don't want to be having brain fog and all those other things. So that's my little bit of advice for you today. Stay tuned. You can contact me on Facebook, drknights.com. Can continue to watch my blogs on YouTube, and hit me up with any anything that you'd like to know about that I can give answers to without giving medical advice. I would be happy to, because that's what I love doing. I love helping, and I'd love to help you out. So all you water fasters out there, go ahead, do it. If you're considering it, contact a physician. If you're in relatively good health, you know, you can talk to me online, and let's do it together. I'd love to see and hear more back from you. Give me some feedback, and anything you'd like to know I can also share in a video so that everyone can see. So here we go. I'm going to go for a little run, and I'm going to monitor myself and make sure. Generally, we don't suggest exercising when you're fasting, but I find that I get really stir crazy, and if I can handle a walk or a brisk walk or a run, I'll do it, and I'll do it carefully by monitoring. I have a heart rate monitor with me, and I don't go too far so that I'm within range of speaking to one of the doctors here. So good luck. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.